Penn State, and Pat Chambers is a good friend of mine. They've led in the second half of their last 6 games against really good teams, and they weren't able to win. And to get a win for them, it just shows who they are. They're a top 100 team. All you will make a whole lot about their Big Ten record. Just look at their scores, and they're a basket or 2 away from being like a team in the middle of our league with all those games they played. So you lose to a top 100 team on the road, it's not the end of the world. At the same time, they really did a great job of preparation. Their press slowed us down. Their switching of every ball screen was something they had not done in a long, long time. They did have 3 days to get ready for us, and we had a day and a half. Don't know if that made a difference, but give them credit. They were absolutely terrific today. Offensive rebounds, 7 in the first half. I think it was 10 points, right? And it's great for Penn State. It's great for our league to have a team that is in the bottom of the league beat a team that's winning for the championship. It means there's great parity.
Coach, you want to address the objection?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been thrown out of a game since I think it was 78, 79. So it's about 20 years before most of you were born. And you know me, I have very rarely ever get technical. So I'll deal with the league office going forward and see what I could do differently.
Questions for Coach Beilein, please.
Can you elaborate what the topic of discussion was with officials at the end of the half?
I'll elaborate with the league office.
Question?
John, I guess what did you do during the second half, like you said?
Yeah, I watched the game from the locker room, so that was painful. But I did like the way that we came back and we fought and kept thinking about those 3 points that the double technical caused us. But Sadie did a great job.
I guess what was the halftime like in that locker room?
To the halftime, it just tried to address the switching of the ball screens, of the tempo that they were making us play at. How we had to be more aggressive, get downhill a little bit more. But you think you're ready for every game plan, and when they have a guy like Stevens, it wasn't the offense. We did score some points. Stopping Stevens one-on-one is really hard for us. And I thought when they went small, right, that was a big difference for us. We had foul trouble with Iggy, and he's got to avoid that better. But they were just a better team.
Just to be clear, is it no comment on what led to you getting mad at the refs? Are you not?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. That would not be good. That would not be good. I'll talk, but I will have. There'll be some pretty interesting discussion with the Big Ten office.
Okay, and then.
But you guys, what I will say is, you guys know I do not. I don't get upset with officials. So.
You guys seemed out of sync, kind of on both ends of the floor early.
Credit Penn State. They got us out of sync. They got us out of sync both ends. They've gone to more of a downhill attack. They're more of an isolation team. They just isolate, and then at the other end, their press, which they can turn you over, and their switching of every ball screen or high siding some certain things, right, was brilliant. And if they're at that first half, and we're trying to tell them what to do, and we weren't, they took us out of sync at both ends. So that's about Penn State. That's not about Michigan coming out here and laying an egg. They were good.
You guys haven't played from behind a lot this year. How do you feel you responded to, I guess, being down double digits in the second half?
Second half, that was pretty darn good. I mean, I think after the technicals to start the second half, what were we down 16? And all of a sudden it's 4. I'm really pleased with that. Just wish we could have made a couple more plays. I thought we left some on the table. And, I certainly wish the double technical hadn't ever happened, because that was 3 points right there.
From your perspective, how did Sadie handle the second half?
Great. I loved his demeanor on the bench, and they came out of timeouts and ran good action. The press at the end was very, very good.
Did you find yourself like yelling at the TV?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom there as well. Yeah. I was yelling at a lot of things.
You mentioned the offensive rebound. I guess, do you feel like that was an effort issue today? Or?
Well, no. I think there was a couple of balls just didn't bounce our way a couple of times. A couple of air balls that they sort of came in and crashed. But it was. I don't think it was an effort. I think it is an area where the ball goes up and we're waiting for it to come. And they crash their guards sometimes, which is very rare to crash a guard, because you should get a fast break if you can get the ball. But they end up getting the offensive rebounds.
With Sadie, was there sort of a final crash course here? If they do this,
no,
do this,
we did the same meeting we always do. We met for 4 or 5 minutes. I talked with the team with 2 minutes to go, with 5 minutes to go. I said, before I did, I said, Sadie's the coach. Go get him. You can do this, right? You can do this and go out and get them, and that was it. And I apologize to him because I was surprised.
What do you see out of Charles tonight?
That was good. You know, he wants to win. There's a sense of urgency to Charles. He wants to have a great year this year, and he's working like crazy. So I love the way he's trending right now.
You went to a 2-3 zone there, I think, for...
Yeah, one time, and they got the offensive rebound. Right.
Is that just
good observation?
Make them shoot
No,
off?
we couldn't stop Steve. We had Iggy in foul trouble. He was taking advantage of Teske. We thought we would try it. May see it again.
And then, I guess just in terms of the Big Ten race, I mean, you guys kind of had a chance to maybe add some cushion.
Yeah.
And you know how hard the schedule gets from here on out. Do you feel like this maybe was just like a wasted opportunity or something?
No, because they're good. Just look at the scores. You'll just look at them and you'll say, okay, 2 points here, 4 points here, 2 points here. They're good. They just haven't won games. It's not like they're getting blown out. And all of a sudden they come in and they're a bottom 200 team and they end up coming in and beating us. You know, you're gonna win, and especially this time of the year, teams are gonna lose, and you gotta learn from it. And if there's things that happen in this game that helps us beat Maryland Saturday, I'm all in. Right? That's the way you gotta look at it.
Despite Penn State, you know, being close with other teams and things like that, I mean, they still had just the one conference win. The arena wasn't exactly packed.
Oh.
Did you sense any difference in
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played in front of it, but I don't think it was anything like that. You know, they're just, like I said, they were really, really good. Don't forget, they beat a really good Virginia Tech team here with the same guys. They're good. They just have been very unlucky, right, in several games this year. They could have got Purdue easily last week. I mean, they could have gotten that game. So they got Michigan.
Did you expect Penn State to go to that smaller lineup there in the first half and even the second half too? And what did you think of Mark Stevens' effort on the defensive end too? Because he had a couple, two big blocks there and there.
He was terrific. He was terrific. And they have done that, but when you add their minutes up between Hara and Watkins, they've been only playing small 5 minutes a game, right? And they went to about 10 minutes, and I don't know what it was in the second half. I know in the first half it seemed like he was in there forever. And it's a bad matchup the way that they're playing, and he's so talented. He's not a great three-point shooter. He's got a tremendous mid-range game. And that's something John Teske never has to guard. He's got to guard a guy. You know, he got to run a guy off the line and a guy guards the rim. You never have to worry about it. And he was just good. And with Iggy, we could have gone inside, but Iggy had one tough, ones that happened, and another one he's got to avoid where his hand went for, and that hurt us. Iggy not being on the court.
You had 4 days before you played Maryland. Does something like this maybe with it festering, can that be a good thing for this team?
Well, it's 3 days. I mean, we'll have a day off and a 2-day prep, which is pretty normal. I think we need rest. I was just watching the TV. I just think, the emotional win Wednesday, and now you got a game and you're traveling. A 2-day prep is hard for everybody, right? And only because of a rest factor, and you don't get to rep it twice, because if you're afraid if you rep it on Sunday and then you rep it on Monday, you're going to win the practices. You're not going to win the game, and so we're looking forward to having a day off and then having 2 days to look at the film, grow from it, and then get ready for Maryland.
What's your advice to Jordan right now, just in terms of three-point shooting?
I have to look at some of the shot, the way that he shot the ball, and what type of shots that he took. But he's really a good three-point shooter. He just got to keep working on take the right shots. But I think there's some that they're right on. There's not going to once again every guy's going to go through these times where you have one of those one-for-something games. I mean, Xavier's first 2 threes went halfway down the basket and came out. That's a big difference where they're switching, staying off Xavier, right? Got to make those. And he didn't, but he came out and made 2 in the second half, so that's good.
Do you see it as a shot selection thing, or just like they aren't going down?
Sometimes with everybody it's a shot selection, usually if you're not knocking it down. But I trust he's learning from that.
Does anybody have anything else for Coach?
Safe travels back. Let's hope we can get out of here. Thank you.
We'll have Coach Washington and a selected player outside the locker.